The stars were quiet. Space was cold and empty, as always. But something was moving. Something big. An alien fleet, dark and massive, flew slowly toward the solar system. Hundreds of ships, shining with metal and strange blue lights, moved in perfect formation. They belonged to the Zoroth Empire, one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. The Zoroth Empire had ruled many star systems. They crushed weaker planets, they took resources, they controlled trade, and now they looked at Earth. This blue world will be easy, said General Skarn, leader of the Zoroth fleet. He stood tall inside his command ship, his eyes cold and full of pride. These humans think they are strong, but they are alone, isolated, forgotten by the stars. Another commander laughed. They sent one message. General, one message. Turn back. This is your only warning. That's not bravery. That's fear. The Zoroth fleet kept flying. They passed Jupiter, then Mars. Now, they were near Earth's space borders, but they didn't know they were being watched. Far away, hidden behind a small asteroid, a single human ship waited. It was small, black, and silent. The pilot's name was Commander Ela. Quinn, her hands were steady on the controls. Her eyes watched every Zoroth ship. She pressed a button, a signal sent to Earth. They've crossed the line. Far below, on Earth, the sky was blue. People walked in cities, worked in labs, played in parks. Everything looked normal. But deep underground, under the mountains, inside a secret command base called Iron Core, alarms began to flash. A voice echoed, "Red Protocol. Unauthorized alien fleet has crossed the line." Awaiting response from High Command, inside a dark room, 12 people sat around a large table. These were Earth's top leaders, scientists, generals, AI specialists. The leader, a woman named Director Voss, stood slowly. "They ignored the warning," she said. Her voice was quiet, but strong, just like the others did. A long time ago, another man spoke. "What's the plan?" Director Voss pressed her hand on the table. A hologram of the solar system appeared. Earth glowed in blue. The alien fleet blinked in red. "Activate Phase 1. No more warnings." Back near the fleet, General Skarn smiled. "Prepare the landing. Ships will take their moon first. Use it as a base. Then we move to Earth." Suddenly, every ship's screen flickered, static. Then a voice human, cold and clear. "This is Earth Command. You have violated our border. You will not receive another warning." Skarn laughed. "They still think they can scare us." Then, something happened. One of the Zoroth ships exploded. It wasn't an attack. It simply vanished in a flash of light. Then, another. And another. Panic spread across the alien fleet. Ships turned, shields went up, but they couldn't see the attacker. "What is this?" Skarn shouted. "They're invisible." A pilot yelled dot from behind planets, moons, and asteroids. Black human ships appeared. They didn't make noise. They didn't use lights. They moved like shadows, fast and deadly. They were not normal ships. These were stealth drones, AI built for one job only, to destroy without being seen. On Earth, Ilara received her orders. She turned her ship and flew toward the battle in front of her. The Zoroth fleet was breaking apart. Their perfect formation was ruined. Smoke and fire-filled space. "They thought Earth was sleeping," she whispered. "Now they've woken. Something old." Back in the Zoroth flagship, General Skarn slammed his fist on the control panel. "Retreat. Get us out of here." But it was too late. 3 human warships, black, massive, and silent, appeared in front of them. No one knew where they came from. No one had seen them before. Each ship had one word written in red on its side: "Never again." They opened fire, not with lasers, but with something else, something the Empire had never seen. A white beam hit the enemy ships and simply erased them. No explosion, just silence. The Empire's fleet began to run. Back on Earth, inside Iron Core, Director Voss watched the battle end. A soldier looked at her. "Do we chase them?" She shook her head. "No, let them run, but seal the skies." He blinked. "Seal the skies." Director Voss turned toward the screen. Earth glowed blue. Her voice was calm. "Shut the borders. No one comes in. No one goes out. Earth is closed." Far in deep space, the survivors of the Empire's fleet drifted quietly. Their pride was broken. Their power shattered. One Zorith pilot whispered, "What? Are these humans?" No one answered. The stars were quiet again. But this time, Earth had gone silent by choice, and that silence was more dangerous than war. The Empire thought Earth was weak, but now they are afraid. They send spy ships to learn Earth's secrets. What they find is worse than anything they imagined. The Zorith Empire was broken. Only a few ships made it back after the failed invasion of Earth. Inside their command chambers, the high leaders shouted and argued. "How did they destroy us?" One asked. "Where did those black ships come from?" Another yelled. General Skarn stood silently. His face was cold. His voice was low. "We underestimated them," the Emperor growled. "Then find out the truth. I want to know everything about Earth. Send scout teams now." 3 small Empire spy ships left for Earth. Their job, fly close to the planet, scan it, and report back. Each ship was fast, quiet, and invisible to normal sensors. As they entered the solar system, the lead scout whispered to the others, "No. Human signals. No warnings this time. Maybe Earth is scared." They passed Mars, then the Moon, and then they saw Earth, blue oceans, green lands, clouds, cities. But something was strange. "No lights," one pilot said. "Where are the planes? The satellites? The space stations?" asked another dot. "There was life, but no activity, no sound, no signals. Are they hiding?" the captain asked. One ship moved closer. Its scanner picked up a signal underground deep below what used to be the city of Geneva. "There's something buried there," the pilot said. "Scan it." As soon as the scanner turned on, the ship vanished. Gone in 1 second, the other 2 ships froze. "What just happened? We lost contact. We're leaving now." But it was too late. From behind Earth's moon, a long black satellite turned its lens toward them. It didn't shoot lasers. It simply sent out a pulse. A wave of invisible energy hit the second ship. Its controls froze. Lights went out. The ship began to fall toward the planet. The last ship turned hard and fled the solar system. Back on the Empire's homeworld, the lone survivor gave his report. He was shaking, pale. "They're not quiet because they're weak," he said. "They're quiet because they're ready." He handed over data from his short scan. The room went silent. The Emperor looked at the images. Deep inside Earth, there were giant chambers, hundreds of miles wide, full of machines, ships, and something unknown. One AI core was labeled, "Protocol Black Ice. Do not wake." "What does that mean?" the Emperor whispered. No one knew. Back on Earth, inside the Iron Core base, Commander Ilara walked through a hallway lit by blue lights. She entered a large dark room filled with glowing glass pods. Inside each pod floated a soldier perfectly, still, asleep. These were Earth's Ghost Unit's humans, who had been enhanced with machines, trained for war. Waiting. Elara stood in front of one pod. The name read, Jox Orion. He had been asleep for 22 years. She turned to the system AI. "Haven't we woken them?" The AI replied in a calm voice. "They are not needed yet." Ilara stared at the pod. "Maybe soon," she whispered. Meanwhile, in orbit above Earth, secret defense platforms floated silently. They were cloaked, invisible to the eye and to sensors. Each one had a name. Each one carried something deadly. One was called the Leviathan. It held a weapon still in testing, something that could bend gravity and tear ships apart without touching them. Earth wasn't just hiding, it was building, preparing, waiting in. A hidden lab under Antarctica, scientists were running tests. A large sphere floated in the middle of the room. It pulsed with red light. "This tech came from the First War," one scientist said. "It's alien, but we made it better." "What does it do?" "It opens doors." "Doors to where?" The scientist smiled. "We don't know yet." Back in space, at the edge of the solar system, a strange signal appeared. Faint, weak. It was a message from the missing Second Empire scout ship. But something was wrong. The voice didn't sound human or alien. It said one word again and again. "Awakening, awakening, awakening." Inside Iron Core, Director Voss stared at the signal. "Should we block it?" asked a technician. Voss shook her head. "No," she said. "Let them hear it." The Empire did hear it. They played the message in their deepest war room. Awakening. They didn't know what it meant, But every leader in the room felt the same thing: fear. The Empire thought they could take the moon easily, but the moon was not just a rock, it was a trap. The Emperor of the Zorth Empire was angry. His face was dark. His eyes burned with hate. "I want revenge," he said. "I want Earth punished." His generals stood quietly. No one dared speak except General Skarn. "We don't attack Earth directly," Skarn said. "We take the moon. We build a base there. We cut Earth off from space." The Emperor nodded slowly. "Yes, send the Iron Claws." A fleet of 50 Zorth warships entered the solar system again. This time they came carefully, quietly. There. Target, Lunarith's moon. The alien fleet flew in slowly, scanning the surface. All they saw were rocks, craters, and dust. No cities, no bases, nothing. "It's empty," the alien pilot said. "Land the troops." The commander ordered. 12 landing ships dropped toward the moon's surface. Soldiers in armor stepped out, heavy. Machines rolled onto the dust. They planted the Zorth flag. But the moment the flag touched the ground, it began. The dust on the moon shifted. Something clicked. Then a long black panel opened across the surface. A voice spoke in every Zorath helmet. "Unauthorized presence detected. Activating lunar defense grid." The soldiers looked around in panic. "What is this?" From under the surface, huge black cannons rose silently. Not one, not 10 hundreds each. Cannon aimed at the Skyhat, the Zorth fleet, and fired. Blue beams shot upward. Alien ships exploded like fireworks in seconds. 10 warships were gone. The rest turned and tried to flee. But it was too late. The moon itself had become a weapon. Earth had turned its natural satellite into a trap, one the Zorth Empire had never imagined. Inside, the moon was a base called Echo Core. It was hidden 15 kilometers underground. There, Commander Elara stood in front of a large screen, watching the battle. "Let's show them what happens when they forget who we are," she said. More defense towers rose across the moon's surface. Laser nets spread through space. Zora fighters tried to dodge, but the nets cut through them like knives. The commander of the Zorth fleet screamed, "Fall back, fall back!" But his ship was hit before he could finish. Inside the alien landing zone, Zorth soldiers fired at the defense turrets, but the ground beneath them cracked. A massive robot burst out of the rock. Over 20 meters tall, heavy armor, glowing red eyes. This was a Titan-class mech, built by Earth's engineers. It had one job: protect the moon at any cost. The robot raised its arm and fired a pulse cannon. The entire landing zone disappeared in a flash of light. Only a few alien ships survived. They fled toward Deep Space Dot inside the last escape shuttle. An alien soldier breathed heavily. "The moon was supposed to be safe," he said. His commander looked at him. "The humans, they planned this for years." Back on Earth, inside Iron Core, Director Voss listened to the final battle report. "Any losses?" she asked. "0, the AI replied. "And the Empire?" 47. Ships destroyed, ground force eliminated. Voss nodded. "Send a message." The AI asked, "To whom?" Voss looked at the stars on the screen. "To the galaxy." A short message was broadcast on all known frequencies. Earth is not a target. Earth is not a colony. Earth is a warning. In distant parts of the galaxy, leaders of other empires and planets watched the message. Some laughed nervously, some turned off their screens, but others, especially the small, weak planets, watched in awe. One alien leader whispered to his advisor, "Maybe it's time we spoke to Earth." Meanwhile, deep below the moon's surface, a massive locked door opened for the first time in centuries. Behind it, something hummed, not human, not machine. Something in dash between it had no name, just a number, Project 0, and it was waking up. The Empire finally captures a human. They want to read his mind. But inside, they find something they were never ready for. After the failure at the moon, the Zoreth Empire was humiliated. The Emperor was furious. "We need answers," he growled. "Not battles, not guesses. Truth, General." Skarn stood tall. "Then we capture one of them. A human, alive." Far from Earth, on a quiet asteroid station, a human scout ship was gathering data. The pilot was Captain Reese Carter, a former soldier turned explorer. He was alone, watching a dead planet, until a Zorath stealth ship appeared behind him. Before he could react, his ship was disabled. A beam of red light hit him. He passed out. When Rhys woke up, he was strapped to a cold table. Strange lights above him, alien faces looking down. He tried to move, couldn't. "This is the human?" asked one of the Zoroth scientists. "He's just flesh," another said. "Weak, fearful." The lead scientist activated the neural reader machine that could enter a subject's mind and show their thoughts, feelings, and memories. "He will show us what Earth is hiding," the scientist said. They attached the cables to Rhys' head, but when they activated the machine, everything changed. At first, they saw simple memories. Rhys, as a child, watching Earth's skies, his military training, his first mission to Mars. Then, the images became dark. Explosions, screams, fire, aliens invading, cities burning, humans fighting back. One Zoroth scientist flinched. "What is this?" another whispered. "These are not our battles. These are old wars. Long before we met them, the visions grew worse. Millions of humans dying, but never giving up. Planets lost, then taken back. Weapons created from desperation. And always the same pattern. Humans fall, then rise stronger, then came something unexpected. The scientists saw Earth's first contact with an ancient alien race known only as the Architects. They saw Earth refuse their offer of help, not because of pride, but because Earth didn't want to depend on anyone. "We learned long ago," Rhys's voice echoed in the machine. "No one saves us, we save ourselves." One scientist screamed. Blood poured from his nose. Another tried to shut the machine off, but the system was locked. Now the machine was showing memories that were not. Rhys's it was showing the memories of Earth's hidden AI network. It was showing Project Zero. The Zoroth saw a machine huge, powerful, and thinking, not like a tool, like a god. It had eyes, it had a voice, and it whispered to them, "I see you." The neural machine exploded. The lab lights went black. When they turned on again, all screens were blank except one. On it, words appeared. "You came to study fear. Now you carry it back home." General Skarn was watching from the command room. He stood silently as medics carried away to scientists who had gone mad. He looked at Rhys still, strapped to the table, still smiling. "Did this?" Skarn asked. Rhys looked at him calmly. "No, you did, when you entered my mind." Skarn narrowed his eyes. "You're not afraid of us," Rhys smiled. "No, I've seen worse than you. I've seen what Earth has become, and I've seen what it's willing to do if pushed." Skarn turned away. "Lock him up. We'll deal with him later." But deep inside, he felt something strange. Fear back on Earth. Director Voss watched the same footage. The Earth's AI had hacked the Zoroth's own machines. It used Rhys as a signal. "Should we retrieve him?" asked a soldier. Voss shook her head. "No, then keep him. He's already done his job." In deep space, the signal from the captured humans spread. Small, races-weak planets, poor worlds heard the message. They heard Rhys's voice. "Earth is not your enemy, but we are not your prey." Some of those planets made a choice. They would no longer follow the Empire. They would wait, watch Earth, and maybe join it. On the Zoroth capital world, the Emperor stared into the dark. "What are these humans?" he asked. General Skarn didn't answer, because he had finally understood the truth. Humans are not strong because of power. They are strong because of pain, and pain is something the Empire had never truly known. For years, Earth stayed quiet. For months, Earth gave warnings. Now, Earth speaks with fire. The Zoroth Empire was shaken. They lost ships. They lost soldiers. They refused to stop. The Emperor stood before his people. His voice was loud, proud. "We are the rulers of the stars. Earth is one world. We are thousands. We will crush them." The crowd cheered, but in space, something had changed. At the edge of the solar system, silence broke. From behind Saturn, a black circle appeared. They came 10 black warships. No lights, no windows, just shadows. They moved like ghosts, quiet, smooth, perfect. Each one was the size of a small city. Each one had a name written in red. "Never again. Silence is strength. We do not kneel." Terra wakes. Ghost Fleet. Inside one of the ship's commander, Elara stood at the command deck. Around her were no pilots, just screens, drones, and AI voices. "Mission?" she asked. A calm voice replied, "Strike. Leave survivors. Let them tell the galaxy." The Zorath Empire's border stations detected something unfamiliar signals. No ID, no calls, just movement fast and silent. Then, no warning, it was erased clean, like it never existed. Zorath commanders screamed into their radios, but there was no reply, just static. Then, a human voice. "Enough." The Black Earth ships moved deeper into enemy space. They didn't take prisoners, they didn't stay to explain. They attacked key power stations, weapon factories, and fleet yards. Each time, they disappeared before Zorath ships arrived. It was not war. It was surgical destruction. It was a message in the middle of space, near a dying sun. A massive Zorath fleet tried to trap one of the Earth ships. They waited, quiet, ready. Then the Earth ship came alone. Small, the Zorath general smiled. Fire. All weapons, missiles, plasma cannons, lasers, all hit, all failed. The Earth ship didn't even flinch. Then it responded. It used a gravity weapon one. Earth had hidden for decades. A black sphere formed around the Zorath fleet, and then it collapsed. The fleet was crushed into dust in seconds. Not even screams were heard. Back on Earth, inside the Iron Core, Director Voss stood with AI Commander Helix. Helix asked, "The Ghost Fleet is operating as planned. Do you wish to continue?" The campaign? Voss stared at a map of the galaxy. Red dots marked destroyed enemy bases. She said one word, push. On a distant world, refugees watched Earth's ships fly overhead, but they were not afraid. They were cheering. Children ran outside to wave at the black ships. An old man whispered, "The monsters from Earth are protecting us." Other planets began to send messages to Earth. "We surrender to your power," or "Will you help us rise?" Earth received them all, but said nothing. Earth wasn't conquering. It was cleaning up inside the Zorath capital. The Emperor sat in silence. He had once laughed at Earth. Now his empire was burning. General Skarn entered the room. "They've taken 12 systems," he said. "They leave no troops. They just erase the danger." "And what do they want?" the Emperor asked. Skarn shook his head. "Nothing. They're not trying to rule. They're sending a message." A new signal came through the Empire's main communication network. Everyone watched a black screen, then white words. "We gave peace. You chose war. Now we choose silence." In space, the Ghost Fleet reached its final target, the Zorath Home Defense Station. It hovered above the Zorath, capital planet. Every ship pointed its weapons down but did not fire. Instead, a final message was sent. "You are not worth extinction. We are not your enemy, but we will never kneel." Then, just as fast as they came, Earth's ships vanished. The Zorath Empire was broken. But Earth did not take its place. Instead, it sent one last signal to the galaxy. "We are closing our borders. Forever do not come. Do not call. Earth sleeps again. Let it sleep." After Earth's attack, the galaxy trembles. Some want help, some want power. Now Earth must choose. Will it lead, or will it disappear forever? The stars were quiet again. The Zorath Empire had fallen. But Earth did not stay to rule. Its warships vanished. Its voice went silent. Its borders stayed closed, but across the galaxy. Everyone was talking about Earth. On a planet called Dorinos, a group of alien leaders met in a hidden chamber. There were 10 of them, all from different worlds, once ruled by the Empire. They were afraid, but more than fear, they felt something. New hope double quotes, "The humans destroyed Zorath in weeks," one said. "They didn't take anything." Another said, "No gold, no land, no power." "They don't want an empire," the oldest among them said. "They want peace." A quiet voice spoke then. "We must ask, can Earth lead us?" Elsewhere, not everyone wanted peace. On the pirate planet, Kraken 5 warlords met. "They beat the Zorath. That means we can't fight them," one growled. "But what if we copy them?" said another. "Steal their tech, build our own fleet." A tall alien stood up. "No, we don't copy Earth, we capture Earth," he smiled, from the inside. Back on Earth, inside Iron Core, Director Voss looked at a growing pile of messages. Over 150 planets had sent requests. Help us build defenses. Protect our worlds. Teach us what you know. Lead a new alliance. But also, give us your ships. Send your Ayas. Let us in. Sat in the silent hall, watching a recording from Captain Reese Carter the human, who had been captured and then escaped from the Empire. He spoke directly to her. They're scared. Ilara, but fear turns fast. Into hunger, into power. They don't just want our help, some want to own what we built. The same mistake will happen again, lest we decide what Earth is. A secret chamber, Earth's central AI helix, activated a meeting between all living world leaders. A digital room, a digital table, each face appeared. Calm/serious Director Voss spoke first. If we help them, we become rulers. Even if we don't want to. If we stay hidden, they will fear us forever. What do we choose? A vote began. Some said lead, some said hide. One person said, let them come, but only on our terms. The vote ended. Result, Earth will open a single gate, to one planet only. A small ship flew from Earth to a neutral space zone. It carried no weapons. Inside were 3 humans, 1 translator, and a message. They landed on Velos, a peaceful water world that had once suffered under the Empire. Its people welcomed the humans with open arms. Earth spoke, we will not build an empire. We will not send armies, but we will give knowledge, only to those who use it for peace. The first to break this rule will be erased. The message was clear, Earth would help but never serve. Back on Kraken 5, a spy watched the broadcast. He sent a message to his warlord. The humans are opening their doors. We can sneak in. The warlord smiled, then prepare a team. Inside, Echo Core buried under the moon, Helix reviewed the plan. We help only the peaceful. We monitor all systems. If any turn hostile, a red light blinked. Signal detected. From Kraken 5, unauthorized cloning of human tech. Ilara stared at the screen. They're trying to copy us already, Helix replied. Should we warn them? Ilara shook her head. No. Let's show them. On Kraken 5, a secret base powered up stolen human tech. It sparked. It hummed. It started glowing red. The warlord smiled. Finally, Earth's power in our hands. Then everything went black. The ground shook. A voice came through the air. Deep, calm. Final warning. Ignored. The stolen base melted into dust. No fire. No sound. Just gone across the galaxy. A message played. We will give knowledge. We will give peace, but never power to the greedy. Earth chooses its allies. Earth chooses its future. Now, the galaxy waits. Will Earth rise again to lead a new order, or will it vanish into silence? The final choice is near. Earth gave peace. Earth gave warning. Now, Earth disappears behind the wall, and the galaxy is left wondering. What did we awaken? In the quiet space near Pluto, strange machines began to move. They were dark, silent, and massive, shaped like towers stretching miles high. They floated slowly into position. From Mercury to Neptune, thousands of these towers spread out. They connected by beams of light. They rotated. They pulsed together. They formed the start of something new, a wall around the solar system, a wall between Earth and everything else inside the iron core. But we've seen enough. Across the galaxy, many watched Earth's final move. On peaceful planets, leaders begged, don't leave us. We need you. But Earth didn't answer. At Earth's edge, the Ghost Fleet gathered one last. Time. The 10 black warships took up position near the wall. They didn't speak. They didn't flash lights. They just watched, like silent guardians. The wall was not made of stone or metal. It was made of satellites, defense grids, AI sentries, and quantum locks. It could detect any ship, any signal within 1,000 light-years. It didn't shoot. It simply denied entry. If someone tried to cross, they vanished. No sound, no warning, just gone. A final message was sent from Earth, simple.com. Cold, Earth is closed. We ask for nothing. We owe nothing. We are at peace. Do not come again. In a distant system, Captain Reese Carter stood with new allies. He watched Earth's signal fade. "They're really doing it," someone said. Reese nodded. They gave everything, and all they got in return was betrayal. He looked at the stars. Maybe it's not forever. Inside Earth, deep below the surface, machines powered down. Ships were stored. Weapons were locked. Recordings of every war, every voice, and every sacrifice were stored. A simple sign was placed above the vault. "Let no one forget what we are." Director Voss stood alone in the Hall of Silence. A giant screen showed the last image from space, the wall. Voss whispered, "We gave them a chance. They chose greed. Now, let them wonder." She turned off the screen and walked into the shadows. Years passed, then decades. The wall stayed. Ships tried to approach. They disappeared. Probes were sent. Nothing returned. Rumors spread across the stars. Maybe Earth is dead. Maybe they became gods. Maybe they are still watching. But no one knew for sure. In a quiet classroom on a distant colony, a child raised his hand. "Teacher," he asked, "did Earth really exist?" The teacher smiled. She pressed a button. A hologram appeared, an image of Earth, blue and bright. And next to it, words. They came from one planet. They survived everything. They warned us. They protected us. And then they vanished. The teacher whispered, "Earth was real, and if they ever return, be ready." Far beyond the stars, near the edge of known space, a strange signal played once every year. Just one word, watching, and deep behind the wall. Inside the iron core, one light stayed on. One file remained open. It was titled, "In Case They Come Again." And below that, human. Protocol. Never forgive, never forget. Earth slept, and Earth was ready. Always. Asterisk.